Yeah, gonna have to add a little something that I haven't in the tutorial videos. That's going
Mhm.
to make everyone's life really easier.
Perfect.
All right, so I'll just put that there. Open this. So, if you watch the videos about the node 8.4.0, you could see that when our node is finally installed, I'm gonna get into my, oh, that's actually Essential Source and Cardinal node. All right. So when the compilation is finished, after let's say 45 minutes,
Mhm.
you're right there, and now you have to run the script that's here to make your CLI and your Cardinal node commands global. But as you can see here, they put those executables into the user you're using .local bin file, and we're not going to put it there to make sure that everyone's life is easier. And also, if you want to start a stake pool, it's going to solve a good couple of problems. We're going to do sudo, and we will put it into the user local bin directory. And by doing that, is going to allow you to run the service that's not going to require you to mention the old path to your executables. I don't think that's very clear what I said. Okay, let's say if you put your executables into the home.local.bin, technically the only person who's going to be able to run those commands are going to be, as it is right now, the tutorial user. But if you create a Linux service, it's not going to work unless you mention into the script of the video the old path to the executable, which in this case are going to be home/tutorial/.local/bin. So to avoid that, we're putting those commands into the user local bin, and by doing that, anyone, any users, any services will be able to run those commands without having to mention the old path to it. This is the easiest way I can explain.
Makes sense.
All right, so I'm just changing the path pretty much. So I'm gonna still run the same script and change the path to user local bin to create the Cardinal node executables and the Cardinal CLI, like that. That's it, and that should do it, eventually. There you go. All right, so as you can see here, we don't have to do this step as well, because if I add this to the bash rc file, it's going to allow any users using using the shell as it is right now to run those commands, but I don't have to anymore because it's already in the user local bin. So I don't have to mention the path to it. And to verify that it works, I'm going to run Cardinal CLI version, node version, and we're good. 8.6 is the last one, and the 8.13 for the Cardinal CLI. Okay, there's something else in the video I didn't explain that I should have. I don't know why I didn't. The way people usually do, if you want to know if your node is synchronized, which right now it's not running, so I'll just start it. There it is. I'll just verify if it's running. Journal ctl dash dash unit equal Sancho node. That's the way I called it. Follow. And we're good. That looks good. Yeah, okay. So, usually what people do to know if they're synchronized, they just run the command cardinal CLI query tip, and they mention the testnet magic, which is 4. And we see here that we're synchronized. But might be complicated, might be, you know, a little head-breaking trying to run all those commands just to monitorize your node. So there's a way to monitorize it locally that many people already use, and it's the operator script, of course. So if I type down into the search bar Cardano kill operator, I might be able to find it, and it's here. Cardano community.github.io. Click on it, and I'm gonna go get the script from Kios GLI view. And this is how it's gonna look like. You know, just so you have an efficient way to monitorize your node. You can put it wherever you want. So I could just put it home. Why not? I'll just stick it in there. So I'll create a directory, make directory, and I'll call it GLI view, like that. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. There's no stupid questions, there's only stupid answers. Everything's okay so far? Yes? I'm guessing that's a yes.
Think yes, things are good for me. I'm getting when I do that though, I am getting an error saying that it doesn't like no file directory exists when I try doing that, and like it says socket 11. I can copy it into the chat if you want.
Sure. When you run what command?
The one you just did, the Cardano CLI query tip.
Oh, really? What does it say?
Yeah, I just put it in the chat. It says network socket connect does not exist.
Chat. Where is it? Chat.
Also, yeah, my stream is very delayed too for some reason. So sorry if I'm a little behind with that.
Does not exist. That's because your service isn't running, my friend.
Oh, I thought I was.
Double check it. Check in the you can check in the journal CTL if you want to, the same way I did.
Yes.
If you called it Sancho node service, it's this
Uh,
command.
I don't think I have any Sancho on here yet, so I can figure some of it out too. I don't want to waste everybody's time.
Oh no, it's okay. But the reason why you see that is because your node is not running.
I thought I was.
That's 90% of the reason. That's why.
Yeah, that makes sense. Usually, it's because whenever I just start the computer, it's running because that script that we put in there. But
If you enabled it, yes. But
yes.
if that's been a while too, they did a reset pretty recently. You might have to recompile your node to the
Okay.
version 8.6.0. You can check it out if you just type down the commands Cardano CLI version and Cardano node version, just to make sure
Okay.
that you're running the right versions.
Which command do I use for that?
Cardano node space dash dash version, and same goes for the CLI.
Okay. Yeah, I'm 8.5, so that'll do it.
Yeah, they've respawned the chain again. It's probably a week ago now, but that's pretty
Okay.
recent. Yeah, you're gonna have to. That's a good point, actually. If you want to do that, and
It's I can do that on my own probably, right? Because you did a lot of that last week, I think, right?
Yes, but I started over. I'm just gonna make a little overview. All you have to do is you stop first. You stop sudo systemctl stop your service like this, and then you get to your central source directory and you remove the old cardinal node directory and you
Got
recreate it. Then you reclone the repository with the right version, the git
it. Yep.
checkout with the right version, and you recompile.
Okay, but
And
you don't need to like replace libsodium or
nope, it's the same.
like any of that, right? That's all.
Nope,
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
just a node, just a node itself. You could
got it.
actually keep the database as well if you respawn it according to but that's it's so small.
Yeah,
Seriously, it takes like 15 minutes to barely 15 minutes to synchronize, so I'm not gonna go too much into that. Uh,
cool. No problem.
okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. The script. So, getting back to, did I create it? GLive view, yes. So let's get into GLive view. All right, and we're going to get two files, the GLive view script and the environment from the repository, and we will change the permissions to executable and writable, readable only for the owner, which is myself. So I'll just grab this, copy it, and paste it there. And if I double check, that's good. We have our GLive view executables and the environment. The environments, for the script to work, you have to mention different things in it. So I'll just use Vim or Nano, again, the text editor you like, and get into environment, and we're gonna make some changes in there. Do you guys see it well? Yes? This might sound confusing, but I'll get to that. First, you have here to mention the path to your Cardinal node executables. So we'll do that. First, you remove the hashtag, and then our Cardinal node is inside the user /user local bin Cardinal node. That's where it is. Same thing for the Cardinal CLI here. So for the script to work properly, you have to mention those. The CNCLI, I didn't download it, obviously, so I'll leave the hashtag there because we're not going to consider it. cnode home is the home directory for our Cardinal node. So I will mention it here. The result of, I don't have the right keyboard for that. I hope it's going to work. That should be good. Okay, so it's in home, central source. That's all I called it. Cardinal node. So this is our directory of our node. The port, what was it? 6002? Pretty sure it's 6002. Gonna have to double check that. Your node port, you delete the hashtag, the path to your config file, which is the result of cnode home. And cnode home is your here, as you can see. That's pretty much the path to your directory. So starting from cnode home, which is your node directory, we will get into Sancho test directory where our config file is. If you have any questions, just go ahead. You know, there's no shame into asking questions. I'm always scared to be too confusing when I talk, especially because I'm French. So if there's something wrong I say, just make sure you correct me as well. The socket path. The socket path is inside our Cardinal node directory, and I put it into the database. That's where I put it because I was lazy, obviously. Topology file. Everything I mentioned about the paths right now, except the user, local, bin, Cardano, CLI, they're all mentioned in the videos. If you've watched them, if not, go ahead. Topology, where is it? It's inside the Cardano node and into Sancho test directory, log file, Cardano node log, the database directory inside our Cardano node, and I called it DB. Update check. Apply. No, that's bad. I don't want no updates for now. This. Do I want to use EKG? Nope. I'm gonna use Prometheus for this. Like that. And VV4. And I want no kiosk API because I didn't do anything about it. Okay, that's it. So I save it. And normally, if I run the script, it should work. If your node is if your node is running. I don't think mine is. Is it? Sudo system ctl status Sancho node. Oh, it is. Awesome. Okay. So let's run the script, and it's called gliveview.sh. So I'll just /gliveview.sh, and there it is. So you guys can have a a small little panel that tells you everything. Peer-to-peer enable, the incoming connections, which I don't have any because I didn't let anyone in. You don't have to, especially as a D-rep, but if you start a stake pool, of course, you're going to have to. That's something else. But as a D-rep, you only need outgoing connections because there's nothing holding you from sending transaction through the memory pool with outbound connections. So that's it. You can see the block, the slot number. You can see if you're synchronized. And here, as you can see, you are. So that's it for that. Was it okay for you? You guys are so silent. There's like 4 of us, so you could probably, use your microphone if you wanted to. I'm gonna check the chat.
I'm just following along right now because I gotta update stuff still. But yeah, it all makes sense.
Cool. I'll put that there. All good. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, I had to mention about monitoring because, whoops, wrong tab. I had to mention about monitoring because I oftenly see people trying to know or, to guess if they're synchronized, and every time they have to type down the, the tip commands. So having a little local monitoring interface like this it's okay, especially for DREP. You don't need much more than that. What else? Okay, so now I think we're good. I didn't talk about the script though, but it's the same thing. It's the very same thing than the videos. So it's pretty much the same. Service, the same service than the videos before, and that's also the same start node script. Whoops, I opened up the chat again. If I go check inside the script, you see, it's the same thing. Except, hi Jonah, how's it going? Yeah, Jonah.
Doing great, man. Hey, man.
Hi. So that would
How's it
be,
going?
yeah, doing good. There's
Excellent.
there's not too many people, so it's less stress for me.
Awesome. Perfect. So I
Okay,
went ahead. Yeah, where are you? Sorry, I came in late. I was
it's
doing
okay.
something earlier.
It's okay.
Yep.
I'll
I'll
just
let you.
do a quick overview. That's nice that Jonah was here because Jonah had a problem. This is the original script, and Jonah couldn't run his service because, like I said earlier, here in the video that I did, we installed the executables into the home local bin, which is the particular user directory for executables. And trying to run a service without mentioning the path to it, your server is not going to find it. It's going to try to run the Cardinal node executables, and it just won't be there because you don't have any shell open. It's a service. So by making it global, I'm going to show you the command real quick. There's two ways of doing this. The way that we did with Jonah, we just mentioned here the path to the executables. You can do that as well. What we did, like home, tutorial, something like that. Dot local bin, and that's what we did for him, and it worked because you mentioned the path to the Cardinal node executable, so the service was able to find it, right? But since we now have it global, we don't need that. All right, I'm gonna show it real quick. Where is it? Must be somewhere. Oh, I just have one at a time. Yeah, so that's what we did. User local bin, and we run the script here from the Cardinal node directory to have our executables into the user local bin. That's the only difference.
Sorry, can I just ask a question here? The script, as you have it now, I looked at it. We have to just kind of change our keys and that sort of stuff, but we don't have to change the path. That's already set, right? As long as we have.
Okay, if I understand well, there was two ways to do this. Do you guys mind if I just do it real quick again? It won't be long. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
okay. Central source. Okay, so once you're done compiling, you're at this page. You're inside the Cardinal node. It is compiled. So now you have to run the script, which, as you can see, the script is inside the Cardinal node repository. Script. Where is it?
I got it. Yeah, I'm good. Actually, I was
Okay.
thinking you're at a different spot. Sorry. I apologize. I thought you were doing the script you just put in Discord. The voting script.
Oh,
You're building the node right
no,
now.
no, no.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was at, yes.
I got you. Sorry, Mike. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Okay. I'll get there. I'll get there. Yeah, so just an overview. We just changed the path on those three lines, and we use the I'm gonna type it here. This path for the three lines that you see here. And we, of course, since it's in the user local bin, we changed here for sudo because it's a sudo command. And now we don't have to break our heads with services, with any users. Anyone using this server can use the Cardinal node command and the Cardinal CLI. So if you have friends, you want to create a user for your friend that you trust, and this person wants to use your node and it wants to use the CLI, but on his user, which is pretty cool if you ask me, then he can. If you have friends, you want them to try it. Hey, I created a user for you. Just join in, and it's already installed. The node is running. You just play with it. Create your wallet. Play with the Sancho node. Create votes. Have fun, right? So that's why I kind of like it like this. Okay. What was I? I totally lost it. I'm gonna have to. That's why I'm working on my videos, you know. I skip what I, you know, the useless information that I keep repeating all the time. So our node is running, right? Let's see. Whoops. Live view. View. Let's see, and it's still running. We're good. Okay. All right. So now we have a node. We're ready to have some fun. Actually, it's gonna be that's the best part. So now you grab your browser and you go to sancho.network. This is the place. And on the tab, you go to documentation. And from here, we already have a node. We will generate our keys and address. Are you guys used to, I know some of you are, but is everyone's used to how the key pairs work, and you know how to create address, the way it works from a blockchain perspective? You're good, Alan?
Not entirely, but you don't have to do it for me since everybody else knows.
I have to generate them, so I'll explain at the same time. It's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
All right.
pull up your, are you going to use your documentation? That's really good. That helps a lot too.
Awesome.
I
Thank you.
could actually, yes. That's a good idea, actually.
It was helpful for me, yeah, when you were doing it that way.
All right, so if you go to able-pool.io, that's a great website. I love it. You get into that. I'm not a good seller. And you look for documents. And from that, yeah, it's not up to date. I know I'm working hard on it. It's not ready yet because I'm restructuring the old thing into a better looking one. But right now, this one works. You can use the Cardinal CLI cheat sheet. And in there, you see all available commands of the CLI. And this might look intimidating, but we'll get through that.
Yeah, I just want to say, it looks intimidating. I mean, I got so much further ever from this cheat sheet right here than I've ever gotten before in CLI, just because from this legend, then you understand everything you need to do. It's very straightforward. It's very well done. And I like how you have the tree, how you move through it. So, because I was able to register as a DREP and do all that on my own just after our one lesson based off of this document.
Nice. Well, thank you. That's nice of you. All right. Where was I? I lost it again. So there's another document you can use, and it's the study sheet right here. And that pretty much tells you everything you need to know about the CLI. And I made it pretty simple. I made it as like, you know, those patterns when you try to build a chair. I call it the IKEA build your own node kind of you know, step 1, step 2, step 3. That's pretty straightforward. So we could follow it actually. That'll be fun. So first we need to create our payment and stake keys, right? And it tells you where it is. So let's go find it. Yeah, it's in the CLI address. So CLI address right there. I'll zoom in. And Cardinal CLI address keygen. Address keygen. It's right there. There's something I might need to mention right now about the CLI. There's some rules to follow, and it's written there. That's pretty much it. Everything that is written in parentheses, it's mandatory, which means that you have to use it in the command. I'll give you a pretty simple one, a tip, that's query. Cardinal CLI query. Okay. Don't look at what's down there. I just want you to look at here. As you can see, parentheses means mandatory. So you have to choose between one of those options, and the separator just means or. So you have to choose between protocol parameter or constitution hash or tip or state pool. You know, you have to use one of those. I want to use the tip. What is the tip? I don't know. There's descriptions there. So what's the tip? Get the node current tips, slot number, hash, block number. All right, I want to look for that. So let's do it. Up arrow, tip. So that's the next step, the next tree. So tip, what do I have here? I'll just do it again, clear. Tip. So now I have square brackets. Square brackets, it's not mandatory, it's optional. But you might, depending on the command, need to use it if you want a specific information, but you don't have to, okay? So what does it say? Optional, the socket path. If it is optional, if and only if it is not exported into your bashrc file. So we'll go take a look at it. vim.bashrc. Oh, password.
Weed stake pool.
No, I change it all the time.
I'm just joking.
Okay, so as you can see, I did it. So if you do that, if you export your path to Cardinal node socket path and you just type down where it is, if you put that in your bashrc file, you won't have to mention it every time you have to use a command that requires your node socket path. If you haven't, it's not going to work. I could delete it, actually, and it's just going to send an error message saying that I didn't mention it. So I don't want to have to do it every time, so I just put it in my bashrc, and that's all. It's there, it's optional, I'm not going to use it. Next.
Can I ask you one question in here? Is theoretically, I know it's not a good idea to do so, but you could put your keys in there as well, could you?
Yes, you
Okay.
could push the pad to your keys there, but it's, like you said, not really, from a security perspective, a good idea. From my, just to hold your keys into a hot environment is not a good idea. I could actually make videos and create. I was thinking about creating a virtual machine that would be used as a cold environment and go through the step with you, having a USB key from your cold environment to the hot one, and by doing that, there's many things about security that you need to consider, like disabling your auto mount functions of your Linux cold environment, and by doing so, you have to mount the USB drive yourself, because who knows, you could format it, not format it, but if you have something on your USB key and it's not mounted, you can format it and remake the file system without risking to expose your computer to some viruses because it auto mounted it. But that's something else. I'm just getting it's off topic. Maybe one day we'll talk about it. But right now, I'm going to try to stick to the CLI. There's so much to do. Not enough time. Okay, where was I? Yes. So, bottom word, square brackets, optional, parentheses, mandatory, and separators means or. So what do we have here? Cardinal CLI, I want to query the tip. What do I need? The only thing that is required is the network. So you have to mention the main net or the testnet. So it's testnet, obviously. So this simple command would be just cardinal CLI query tip -- testnet -magic, and the essential is testnet magic 4 for your personal information. That's it. I got it. It's synchronized. I got the slot number, some informations. That's a pretty basic way to understand it, but when the commands get more complicated, like Cardano CLI, let's say stake pool, yeah, registration, certificate. As you can see, it could be more complicated, but you won't get lost because you have it all here. So you know what's mandatory, you know what's not, you know the order, right? As you can see, the error, you don't have to mention it because that's a legacy command. I'll get into that pretty soon. And to make a registration certificate for a stake pool, you need what? Mandatory. You need the stake pool verification key or the call verification key, which is the same. Actually, the stake pool verification key is the string of the key, and the call verification key file is the file itself. So you need either one of those two. What else? You need the verification, the VRF verification file. I think you get it, right? The pool pledge, what is it? The pool cost, the pool margin, and then the pool reward account, which is going to be your. Actually, I think I'm going too far. I lost Alan. Oh no, he ran away. Do I have to? I think you guys get it, right?
Yeah, I got it.
The old pattern, right? I'm
Yep.
just gonna get into the CLI right now. Okay. So now I'm going to create real quick. Call it keys. Why not? Let's get into that. All right. So let's do it. Gonna do some CLI. Okay. So yeah, if you guys follow the tutorial, what we're gonna do, we're going to create our payment and stake keys. And since you're there, Jonas, you have Joas, DS9, there's something I want to show you. If you go into Cardano CLI, all those commands that I mentioned before, they're all there. If you type down Cardano CLI, you see them all. Okay, you see all the available options there, and they're written here as well. So there's the legacy commands. Oh, sorry. There's the legacy commands that's written in the documentation that we give that also works perfectly on mainnet. You can use those on mainnet, it works. And there is, and that's what they're doing at the moment. They're making top functions, how would I call it? Top CLI functions for each era. And that's pretty new, which means that if I type down, for example, Conway, and I use the Cardano CLI Conway top functions, you will see the same things here. Just like the legacy. We have address, key, genesis, governance, node, query. You can query the tip using Conway commands. Cardano CLI Conway, query, you press enter, and then you see everything available for query. And there is tip as well. So I could query the tip using Conway top functions. Cardano CLI, Conway, query, tip. I mentioned the testnet. Magic 4. And it works the same with the legacy commands. If I just erase Conway and use the legacy, same thing. It works. Why do I mention that? Because some people tend to get lost into the CLI commands. But the only thing you know is that it's like a tree with branches. You type down Cardano -CLI, you can see everything that's available from the Cardano CLI, and from there you get to sub branches and sub branches, and it's, you know, that's the way it works. And about governance, everything about governance and everything that's mentioned on the Sancho testnet, it's on Conway Top Functions. So you can create your address, your keys, registration cert from Conway Top Functions and from Legacy as well. So in the videos that I did, I used the Legacy because I wanted everyone to be able to use it on mainnet as much as possible before we get to the governance part, right? But both works actually, right? They're just some tiny difference that I'll mention. But right now, since I already have videos about the Legacy, if you guys don't mind, I'll use I'll do this one with the Conways. Is that okay? You can always refer to the documentations that I mentioned before to our website. I'll put them in the link. Yeah. So first, we need to generate our payment keys. The keys that we're going to use to make transaction, pretty much. So I'll just copy paste it. So what do we have here? We have a Conway command, address, keygen, and we generate a verification key and a signing key. That's it. We have them. Is that okay with you? Do I have to explain more than that? Maybe?
No, not for me. I would just say that you can make any name you want before the .v key. So it
That's
doesn't
right.
have to say
That's right.
payment. It can be anything you want.
Yes. Anyway. Right. I'm gonna use payment.ski and payment.vkey this time. What was I? There. Okay. No, that's the registration certificate. Generate the keys. Okay, so I have my payment keys, and I'm gonna make my stake keys as well. So, payment keys, payment address, they're mainly for transactions, right? And stake keys are for your reward. To withdraw your reward, pretty much. That's what people will use it for. What else? To delegate, right? You need to sign with this to delegate to a DREP or to a stake pool. And we're also going to use it to create an address that makes those two together. So that's probably what the next step is. We're building an address and we're going to mix the payment verification key with the stake verification key to generate our address. That is going to be called payment address on Sancho testnet. And if you guys are not sure, right, if you want to see if it can be customized, you can run Cardano CLI, Conway address build. If you type that again, you see all those options. Required, you need a payment key that's required to build your address, but the stake key is optional because you can build an address from the payment key itself only and not use a stake address. If you don't want to participate to the staking protocol, you can do that. Some people do actually. And mention the network and the file that is going to be your address, because you don't want to, you don't want it to just output in the terminal and not having anywhere. All right, so we'll do that. There you go. So we have our payment address. Now the fossé. So we need some data in it, right? And there's none at the moment. So I'll show our payment.address It's right there, and I will use this address and copy paste it here to get some founds. I'm not a robot. Submit. That's it. Transaction ID is right there. Awesome. Now I want to be sure that I have it. So I will do Cardano CLI query UTXO. And let's see. I need the address, of course. So it's going to be -- address. And I want the result of cat my payment address. All right. And what else? Testnet testnet magic 4. Do I need something else? No, let's go. And it worked. We have fake data. Okay, that's done. We're done with the fosse. So now what can we do? We can, oops, I'm gonna put that there. So now we're going to register our stake address on chain. So I'll paste it. And we have our registration cert. Is that okay so far? Yes? I'm guessing yes. All right. So next we will build a transaction to submit it on chain, right? So we have our Cardano transaction build, which is again another command. We mentioned the testnet magic. Witness override is the number of keys we're going to use to sign it. So to register on-chain stake certificate, we need to sign it with our stake key and our payment keys. So 2 keys, which is why we mentioned 2 witness override. Transaction in is the UTXO that we did earlier. Stake address for UTXO, this one. We could use it. We could just use the UTXO itself with the index instead of the old command, but actually this command gets everything you need. It's the Cardano CLI query UTXO, which is the same thing, and it does the same thing. So I'll just copy paste it, right? The change address, which is the address that our consume UTXO is going to get back to, minus the fee. We mentioned the certificate we just did that we want to submit, and the draft transaction raw that we're going to sign. Whoops. There you go. And now we sign it with our payment keys and our stake keys using the draft we just did on Central Testnet, and the out file will be transaction signed. I'm trying to go as fast as possible for this part because it's already explained in the other videos, so we can get right away to the fun part. And I'll submit it on chain. Uh-oh, that didn't work. Incorrect deposit. Oh my god, that's probably Ryan. Oh my god, what did he do? What did you do, Ryan? Okay, did he change it? Yeah, there's somebody on Central Testnet who's having fun modifying the protocol parameters for the stake deposit, and this guy is called Ryan. And he's having fun with that because it's stalling people. The bad actor. I'll go check what's the amount. Hopefully it's not too big. So I'll just do cardinal CLI Conway query, and I'll query the governance state testnet magic for, whoops, what did I do wrong? Oh, testnet. Okay, what did you do? What did you do? In next state. Okay. I'll GQ it. Alright. Derep deposit, that's good. Where is it? Key deposit, 0. Okay. So it's 0. They changed that back to 0. Okay, fine. Yeah. Do I explain that? Maybe I should, right? You guys are so silent. Do you want me to explain that? Okay, I'll explain that real quick. Okay. The governance state is everything about governance, which means protocol parameters, the constitutional committee, every information about governance is in there. If I just query the governance state without filtering, I use, of course, the red network, and you can just get it with no filter. It's a huge file. It's a huge one. And everything's in there. Every active vote, every ratified vote, everything. Everything is in there. But what I do want, I only want the governance action that has been enacted, including the protocol parameter, because I want to know how much it is to deposit the state key. So I have to filter it. Using GQ commands, you can filter the properties of your JSON file, because that's all JSON. I could just use the command and use the command, the option out file, whatever the name is, and it's going to give me that JSON file. So using the GQ command, you can filter it to only gives you the properties that you want. So what I do want is the enact state of this whole file. So that's what I did there. This is what I did here. I redirected the output to the GQ command, and I just mentioned the only part that I wanted. If I wanted the proposals, that's something else. It's in the middle of the huge file. It's proposals. Then I get only the proposals. There's a lot. You know, actually, you could filter it more than that, but you get all the proposal. Yeah, and the votes. And I'll get to that. I'm not there yet. I'm skipping. Anyways, so by doing enact state, I have everything, every protocol parameters, everything that's enacted, and by checking it, we see that the key deposit is 0. So we'll use 0. And it should work. Because a funny guy changed it. So, here, I'll redo my certificate. And I will change the amount of deposit to 0. And that's it. I'll build my transaction. Again, nothing changes. I will sign it. And I will submit it. And I shouldn't get any error messages. Yay! I'm gonna get you, Ryan. Okay. Stake pool, not gonna get into that. Register as a DREP. He's gonna have some fun watching this video. Yeah, Ryan is a funny specimen of person. He likes to do those things. Okay. Next, to be a DREP. Delegating to a DREP is pretty much similar to delegating to a stake pool. It's the same principle. So, to be a DREP, you need first of all a key pairs. A DREP key pairs. So the command is over here. Clear this. I'll put that there. Paste. So it's pretty similar to other keys we did, except the command is in Conway governance drep keygen. Okay? We could look at it, but it's really similar to any other sets of keys. It's going to give you the keys you're going to use to vote and to sign your votes. So this has to be done from a cold environment, of course. I do it on a hot one. It's unsafe. Not a good idea. I really should do workshops about being safe. That would be a pretty good idea to do it pretty soon. What else? From those keys, we're going to generate a DREP ID that people will use to delegate to you. So that's something you can share to people if you want them to delegate their voting power to you. So we'll do that. We'll generate it. All we need is the verification key, the rep verification key, and the name that you're going to give to your DREP ID. Enter. Now you need to register as a DREP. It's pretty similar, but I'm going to show it to you because here the only thing they do is they register it. But if you want to be a DREP on mainnet, you might want to inform people why you want to be a DREP. You know, hi, my name is Mike Hornan, because, you know, your keys doesn't tell them that who you are. So you want to, you know, introduce yourself maybe, and then, you know, mention, oh, there's something in the chat. I wasn't checking the chat. Sorry, guys. I'm going to put that there. Did I miss? I saw Shaw talking about that. That's going to... I'm sorry, guys. I didn't read anything yet. I'm so sorry. Now I do.
So I have a Mike. I guess I went to do the. I have my DREP ID,
Okay.
and I made my DREP keys. But now I'm thinking that maybe my certificate did not get put on chain because I just used those commands there. I didn't change the ADA amount. I left it at 2 ADA or 2 million.
If that's so, you're gonna end up with an error message, but you can double check if
That's what I didn't get an error message. That's why I was curious. Is there a way to see if I'm on there as a DREP?
yes.
Okay.
We can check that out right now. The
Let's
thing
go
is,
through the process. Go
Okay.
through yours, and then we can. When I see you check, I'll check. Yeah.
all right, cool. So, real quick, there's no way for me to separate the chat from my. I'll just check it once in a while, or if somebody. Anyway, here's the command, and I wanted to show it to you because if you use the Essential Testnet, what they tell you to do, you're going to register as a DREP, but you don't have no metadata URL here because it's not mandatory. You don't have to mention why you want to be a DREP, but you can. If you have a URL text mentioning, I do have one. I'm Mike Horton. Actually, it's a pretty funny one. I'm going to show it to you. I did one. So I have a metadata URL and an hash of that URL. I'm going to show it to you right here. It's on GitHub.
Why do you need the hash of the URL?
Because the only thing that's going to tell you what it is the hash. If I change a single comma, a dot, or a 1 or a 0 from that text, the hash that will be generated from it won't be the same.
And the text is just the URL, correct? You could change the info on the other end of the URL though, right?
Yes, but if you do the hash, the hash won't match.
Like, well, if you change the content of the web page, let's say, or does it go to a web page?
It goes, yes, it goes to a web page. I'll show it straight to you. Okay,
Okay.
that's okay.
I'm just
So
wondering that if you wanted to update your bio, your info, you'd have to generate a new certificate. Is that right?
yes, yes,
Okay.
because if you modify it, it won't match your metadata hash, and if somebody verify it with a curl command and a Blake encryption, they will see that your text doesn't match the hash. They won't even look at it. Um, what was it?
You better get that mission statements like perfect the first time, right?
What's that?
You have to get the mission statement perfect the first time.
The mission
Because
state?
well, whatever you're trying to get people, to tell you about yourself in this metadata.
No, you can always resubmit. You can
Okay.
resubmit a stake certificate if you use the same keys. You won't lose your
The
delegators.
delegations. Okay.
No, it's the same. Just like a stake pool cert. Let's say I want
Okay.
to, raise my pledge, lower it,
Right.
whatever. I redo the old cert and then I
Okay.
resubmit it, but I don't lose my delegators. It's the same
Right.
thing. GitHub.com, and that's, I'll show it to you. R97. Where is it? There it is. I called it drep text. And what it says. I'll actually I'll download it. There. Okay. There you go. So my drep text. It says, my name is Mike Ornan and I love all things Cardano governance. If you would like me to vote in favor of your governance action, you would probably like to talk to me about it beforehand. Otherwise, I would be obliged to vote according to my values, which for testing purposes are unfortunately not very commendable on SanchoNet. That being said, I wish you a great day. So that's my drep on SanchoNet. I kind of like it like that. Yeah, so you can use that. And from that, I need to generate an hash. I need to know the hash. Because if I don't have it by heart. Cardinal register. There it is. I'll just go take a look at site with there. There you are. Alright. So if I look for a hash, or for the hash of my my drep text, I'll just do this in Blake, and there's my hash. But if it's on your URL link, right? I mention it as well in my documentation into the Cardinal CLI cheat sheet part 2. I do use it for stake pool purposes, but it also works great with right here. It works great with any kinds of metadata pretty much. Instead of typing down pool metadata file and that command, you can just use the.
Can you put that command in the chat so I can copy it?
Oh, sure. Chat. Where is it? Yeah, I'm gonna show it to you. You can pull it directly using a curl command -s-l and the URL link that's been provided. Whoops. Just as an example, So you can double check the hash by just using the encryption command and the curl command with the URL link, and then you get the hash from it. And if that hash match the one that's on chain, then you know it is what it's supposed to be. Register a DREP. So first, I will use the command that they did. That's to register my DREP using my DREP V key, a deposit that should be 0. That's a key deposit. And it's going to give me an out file called DREP register cert. But I want to use my URL. So what I'll do, registration certificate.
So this right here is a great practice that I picked up from the videos, and the first time through I didn't do this, but now I do this and it's much better. So pick up like a whatever, any kind of writing document and put the commands in here, and then you can edit them and then paste them in. It's much easier than grabbing them from terminal.
You're right. You avoid the mistakes like I do. Yeah. Your URL 0000. That's right. So I'll do this. Put that there. My URL is ornan7.github.io/.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk as you do that. Is that okay?
What? Sure.
If I talk while you do that? Yeah, so I'm looking at mine. I left it at 2 to Ada, and I have a certificate. I mean, it processed okay. So did that mean I just overpaid, right? Is it possible to overpay?
No.
No.
If you don't put the exact amount, you're gonna have an error message. That's ornan github/drep text, and just to be sure that it's the right hash, I will double check using this URL here. Awesome. That looks good. Okay, now that's gonna work. It's less than it's a link that has less than 65 bits. So yeah, awesome, good. Yeah, I did that just to show you the example, because when we will query it, you will see this as well. Okay. Okay, so we did it using the verification key, but you can also use the content or the ID.
If you're going to use just like a data file, like you did for, without the URL, would you store that in your key folder? Does it matter where that's stored, or it should be in the same folder as the certificate? So I don't have to like make a path to it.
Which one? What are you talking about? The
Your philosophy statement, because you use the URL, but you can also just use a text, right? A file.
Can you? We'll see.
Well, you did it already with just a file up ahead. Before you just.
I took the hash. I took the hash from the file. Yes.
Yeah, but that file needs to sit in your keys folder or in the folder with your certificate, or.
No, you don't have to. It's not required.
Okay, but would I have to put a path to it if you didn't, or no?
On the certificate?
Yes.
It is. It is there. Metadata URL and the path to it. Yes, you do have to mention that.
Okay.
Because as you can see here, it's not required, but that's the only option you have. You have to put the metadata URL text, and it's the URL.
Okay.
And it's hash.
Okay.
I'll give you another example. If you want to build a constitution, you can do as you said. Cardano, CLI, Conway, governance. That's action. I'll just show it to you real quick. Create constitution. Constitution is an example where, as you can see, you have three options here for anchor, proposal, and for constitution itself. You can provide the text that is going to sit on your server. You don't have, well, no, actually, no, you need an URL anyway. You need the URL, but if you mention the text itself, what the command will do, it will just generate an hash from it. Your text won't be on chain. Your text lives off chain on the domain that you own.
I see that. So you have to have a domain then, and you have to have like
Yes.
a GitHub that's hosting the text somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I got it. Thanks.
Could be Gist, could be anything you want. Some people dislike the link shortener, but yeah, for different kind of reasons. The way I did it on GitHub is pretty, straightforward. You just use your
Yeah, I
your
think that seems like the best way.
yes,
Yeah.
because your link's going to be super short, especially if you just put it in there. You have your name, this, and then it's pretty hard to get too long. But anyway, that's the way I did it. All right. So we have our whoops. Okay. So we have our registration cert. I hope I mentioned 0. Did I?
No.
Oh yeah, it's there. 0.
Oh yeah. You mean for
Okay.
the deposit amount? Yeah, you did. Sorry.
Okay, that's good. We're good. So now, same thing. Build a transaction, mention it. Nothing really changes. The witness override, we have to sign with our payment keys. We have to sign with our payment keys and our TREP signing key as well. So we will build our transaction raw, the fees, and as you can see here, we sign it with TREP keys. We sign it and we submit it. That should work. No. Oh, that's really?
Yeah, try it with just the normal because it worked for me. And that was like an hour ago. Well, before, like it was around 6 o'clock. I was trying to prepare for the.
Maybe I misread that. I guess I did.
I was going to ask also this enact state. Are those little what options like in a list somewhere that you can query?
Yep. I'll show it to you. Yeah, I wrote down in next state. That's something that's visually seeable. Using the GQ command, you can filter everything that's written in there, and the next state is at the very top. Yeah, Colin. It's at the very top here.
Okay.
So by doing this, you get all the properties from this object, if I can call it like that, and you get them all.
Okay.
It's going to give you the here. DREP deposit. That was it. Okay. I misread. I thought it was just a normal key. Alright. So it's 2. My bad. I'll just get back and change it.
How many different filtering words are there like that?
as much as you want. As much as you want. Using GQ commands, you can
Yeah.
filter, you can reassemble.
Oh, so is GQ a CLI command? Or is
No,
that a
no,
no?
no,
Okay,
no, that's no, that's something else. That's its own command
Linux.
that's made for JSON files. It's a
Okay,
Yeah, it's a way to filter and then assemble a JSON file. You can see here there's a couple of useful GQs.
okay, I see. Thank you. That's what I was curious.
Yeah, just for example here, as you can see, he sent the output to entries and he creates his own JSON file according to the parameters that you want. Governance section ID, type. You can customize it as much as you want.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's perfect.
okay. I lost it again. Where was I? Oh, okay, yes. We're gonna do 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Sign it. It should be there. Sign. Submit. Submit. Oh, come on. Hold on. Something's wrong. Was it 2?
I think it was 2. I just copied the command directly from the SanchoNet documentation and it worked. It has it as 2, right? Yeah, it has it as 2. I just used that and then changed because I misnamed everything now, so I had to change all the names.
Okay. Let's do this. I'll redo it.
Does the price change because you're adding metadata?
Yes. The price change every byte. There's a base fee of 0.15 ADA. And then
Maybe that's the problem because is that 2 ADA accounting for your metadata?
it's counting for deposit only. The metadata itself has its own fees, as you can see. If I do this here, you'll see there. That's the fees.
Oh, okay, right, because you're using not build raw, so it's automatically.
No, BuildRaw would have to calculate the fees.
Yeah, this.
You use BuildRaw on a cold environment. Now I'm obviously on the server that has the node running in the background.
Yep.
So I'm doing it pretty lazy way.
That's fine. That works.
Hopefully it will. It should work. Okay, we're good. We're good. So now I have a drep registered. Now it is registered. Now what you asked before, we can query that. I don't have it by heart, but there's a way to find it. And it's Cardinal CLI Conway. What is it? I don't know. So we'll look. I guess it's probably a query, right? I want to have info about the drep. And here in the list, I have 2 options. Interesting. Drep state and drep state distribution. So I'll do Cardinal CLI Conway query. And let's try drep state dash state. What do we have? I need to mention the network and the either verification key file, the hash. I'll use the verification key file. So dash testnet magic 4 and verification file. It's drep.pk. There you go. You see it? The deposit, the expiration of your drep. If you don't vote on anything, your drep will expire at epoch 168. But if you vote, it will get further away by 10 epochs, or according to the parameter, the protocol parameter that mentions the rep expiry, or the activate, what was the name? The rep activity parameter, sorry. And as you can see, the anchor, if someone wants to check, you know, there's my drep text and its hash. I'm not going to do it right now, but if I go on my URL and I change it, I just add a dot, a space, anything. If I modify it, it will match the hash. So if someone wants to see the text, you can see on the URL that it is text. But if what I submitted is not the same than that what sits there, then you know it's not right. You know it has been modified. From my perspective, it is not valid. But yeah, that's it. And this is the key hash of your drep. That's what I mentioned. Governance state, right? And you just want to see, using a G2 command, the dot proposals. You want to see the proposals. Oops, I forgot. This net magic 4. I just want to see the proposals. I made a proposal there.
Is this the gov.state.json file right here that we're looking at?
Yep.
Okay.
Here. This is a governance action to update the committee. And what has been added is 11 key hash of constitutional committee member with their expiration or term limits. So in those key hash, there is Rick McCracken, Smog Stake Pool, Martin from Atada, Nicholas from Cardinal Foundation, good couple of good guys, right? So I submitted that on epoch 141 and it expires at 151, and you can see the committee votes. They're not supposed to vote on update committee, right? According to the SIP 1694, so they haven't, but there's none anyway. You can see all the DREPS votes with their key hash. You can query who it is. This one's mine. You can run a query drep and use this hash to get more information about who voted that. Who's this? Who's this guy there? If the person have put an anchor and a proposal URL, you will see it on chain. Sorry. And you see here a little lower the stake pool votes. So that is the stake pool IDs of every stake pool who voted using their cold keys. So I believe this has pretty good chances of passing. We'll see pretty soon. Yeah, so it's just an example. They're all there. Update committee, you see this guy just added a single key. I try to vote as much as possible on each one of them, and if you see this key hash, which is mine, it should be on every governance section that exists on this chain. Yeah, that's something.
Will you show us how to get put on that list?
What's
how do
that?
we add ourselves? How do we add to that list ourselves?
By voting on it. Okay, we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Okay, awesome. Okay, let's do this. So now our stake key, our drep keys is registered. We need voting power because we have none. So what I showed you was the rep state, right? This is the rep state, but you can also, using the same command, cardinal CLI Conway, that was query. I don't have it by heart. It's drep stake distribution. You can see your stake distribution. Drep stake distribution. What do I need? Any dimension D testnet, of course. Magic 4, and let's use the rep verification key file rep.vk. That should be enough. As you can see, we have none delegated to us. By registering it, you don't automatically delegate to it. So you have to delegate to your own DREP ID with your stake address. So you have some voting power, right? So that's what we'll do. Here, delegate vote to a DREP. So it's pretty similar to delegating to a stake pool. I think I mentioned it in the videos, if you watched it. There is Cardinal CLI stake address. I'll just show it real quick, but without doing it. Here you can make a stake delegation certificate. You can make a stake and vote delegation certificate and a vote delegation certificate. So you can either delegate to a stake pool, delegate to a stake pool and a DREP, or delegate to a DREP only. So let's say we just created something. I could delegate to a DREP and a stake pool, but I'm not going to do that because it's going to take a little longer. We just want some stake for our DREPs. So we'll do that. Cardinal Conway restaurant, that's good, that's good. Oh, that's always no confidence. I don't want that. I want to use this. Oh, you guys know about the predefined DREPs, right? You're used to that? Or do you want me to explain?
Say that one more time. I didn't.
There's 2 DREPs that are predefined. Yeah, you can delegate to always no confidence, or you can delegate to always abstain. And this is a protocol DREP, a predefined DREP that is going to always vote abstain or no confidence, depending on which one you delegate to.
Gotcha. This is right. This is a non-person. It's like a virtual DREP.
Yes, it's
yeah,
like an
okay.
auto vote. So if you don't want to participate, right, many people will do, pretty sure. They will probably vote for, they will delegate to always abstain. Anyway, it's an option, it's there, it's available, and you will be able to see it actually. If you do this, there, you will see those as optional. Here, you can either, I'm gonna show it like this. You can either, it's not optional, of course you have to. You can vote according to a script hash, a verification key file, your DREP hash, or always abstain, always no confidence. But for us, we're going to use our DREP ID here. So that should work. And let's do this. We will delegate to ourselves using our payment keys and the stake key to sign the transaction. And that should do it. There you go. This is done. I don't know if it's going to show it now. I don't have enough information about the snapshot thing, right? But I know it's pretty quick. DREP state, DREP stake distribution. Don't have it yet. I don't know how long it takes. Probably an epoch. Not sure. I'm not sure about that.
Can you just want to see one more time? We don't actually do the steps, but will you show me on the SanchoNet website which ones you went through? So you did the Just now, this last action.
Oh, that's the DREP, the DREP, DREP stake distribution. It's to know how much you have stake to you as DREP. You know what?
Okay.
I'm gonna use my own key hash. It's gonna be easier like that. If I don't have it by heart, but I know I voted on nearly every existing. I'll just copy it. My key hash. Where is it? There you are. That's my key hash. Okay, so if I check Cardinal CLI, that was Conway query DREP stake distribution by heart, I think. Yes. Okay. Next line, dash dash. This net magic 4. And we'll use the DREP key hash because that's what I have. I'll paste it here. What else? That's it. As you can see, here I have this amount delegate to me. So that's my voting power as a DREP on Central Testnet. And why is it this number? Because I have a stake pool, and my stake pool is delegated to my DREP, and I took 99% of margin, so I'm getting powerful over time. Because I'm full of good intentions. Okay. Sorry, guys. Just having fun.
Hold on,
Yeah.
I need to ask some question really fast on this one. So, because I'm trying to do it as we're here.
Okay.
So right now I have the Conway stake address vote delegation certificate, and in there I have my stake verification key. I have my DREP key hash. I have the out file, and then that's all I need, right?
Hold on. Sorry, I'm a visual person. Sorry.
Oh, let me see if it got made. Hold on.
Stake dash address.
Okay, so I
you-
have the vote delegation cert, and then I need to submit this, right? After you have the certificate, then you need to make a transaction with it, sign it, and put it on chain, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now I need this one.
So you mentioned your stake verification key file. What else you said? Your DREP verification key file?
Correct.
Okay. And the out file, which is going to be your certificate.
Correct. And
Yes.
then I need to build the
transaction. Where is it? There.
yeah. Okay, this is what I'm on now. So in here, I just need to put basically in this part, we're just putting in our payment address, right?
As a transaction in?
Sorry, in the build section, we're just pretty much adjusting it. Well, I am to put in the payment address.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, whatever. Jonah payment dot
Yeah,
address, the name you gave it. Yes.
Yep. And that's the build. So let me come and build it. Okay. Now we're going to sign. This is kind of generic. Once you have a sign file, that's almost generic because you can use it over and over again, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can make all sort of scripts with that. That's
okay. And then submit, and that will be the last step. And I should have. Where do you put the amount that you're delegating? That's the part I'm not quite. Where did I miss that somewhere?
the amount that you delegate.
Yeah.
That's the amount that you got from the fossé. To know it, you have to query the UTXO of your wallet address to know what amount that you're actually
Okay, but
delegating.
it's just giving all of it, right? Yeah.
Yes, it's the
Gotcha.
entire wallet, just like a stake pool.
Okay. So I got an error. Let me see why here.
I'm learning, by the way. I think the profile. Hey, if you have any questions in the meantime, Mr. DS9, you can go ahead and ask them. I'm watching the chat as we speak. Profile description is going to be good to getting people to trust me. It's really clear to do this. I'm actually anxious to see how it's going to be with constitutional committee members on Sancho. But this takes longer. I don't think I'm going to have enough time to do that.
I got it. I got it. So I have my successfully transmitted now.
Nice. Oh,
I
welcome to the D reps. Did I add you as a D rep?
I don't know. Check. I don't know how am I gonna find it.
Oh yeah,
I
you're a
need.
D rep. Okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, yes. But I should be not. It's gonna take a while for me to get delegated, though, right?
Have you
Did you say-
delegate?
I just did that now. I just did it now.
I don't know how long it takes. On Sancho Testnet, it's 1 epoch. It's 1 epoch per. It's 1 epoch per day, so that should be fast enough. It's not a 5-day epoch schedule.
Okay. But yeah, I have my DREP ID. I have.
You could vote right now, and your delegation is probably going to get there before the end of the expiration of those governance actions.
Oh, okay. So I can vote now. Let's try that. That would be using your script, correct?
We could use the script, yes, but first you have to know what's the proposals.
Right.
So
Let's do that.
there's a quick way to do this, but I don't know if they changed it. I hope they did. If they haven't, well, did they? Conway governance query. No, they haven't yet. This is not right. No, the governance state now is in the query subcommand, not the governance query. That command's not gonna work, but we'll modify it.
I have one more thing I want to bring up that I just remember is that you want to remove your signed transactions when you're finished, right? Or it would
What?
just get overwritten. Is it not necessary?
No, not on Sancho. I wouldn't do that on
Okay.
Sancho. But when we'll get to mainnet, actually, I'm really gonna start making those videos for mainnet once we get closer to that. Now I just want people to understand the principles, but the closer we get to mainnet, it's gonna be really, really important for people to know how to build those transactions offline, and then I'll get to that. Now
Okay.
it's like in French, I would say the grande séduction, trying to convince as much people as possible to get on Sancho and to understand those features, to have many, many more D-reps and people who wants to get involved into governance for it to work as
Yeah.
intended. So that's the goal right now.
Okay.
Okay, so we're at the voting part.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's do this. So to vote first, I want to query in a simple way the governance state and see what's available. Right? Conway query gov state. I'll do it like normal. Dash testnet magic 4. Let's filter it. GQ results. So what you get in there, you have the proposal orders here at the very bottom. Okay. So if I wanted to, I could filter it to that, right? Because right now I'm showing the proposals, but if I want just to get the proposal orders, what I'll do, I'll use the same command, but at the end of proposals, I'll just add, I'll just add another dot, mentioning, I forgot how it's written. PS proposal order. PS proposal order, and then I will get only this. You see? You know, we could actually find a way to filter this a little more instead of just getting proposals. I want to get only the governance action state. So I'll filter it a little more so it's easier for us. So I have,
Can I ask you a question? I tried that JP dot proposals plural. Is that right? Oh,
it's
singular.
JQ.
JQ. Okay, good.
JQ dot proposals, and if you write down dot PS, the spelling has to be right. It's PS with a G, capital G, OV, capital A for action, and capital S for states. I'll just copy paste it. No, I can't. It's a
Just hold it there for a second. I'll try. Or is that written somewhere in the CLI where we can find it?
no, that's a GQ command.
Oh, okay. PS Gov.
It's still kind of weird. It
Just
doesn't
put the
work.
proposal action in there so we can just vote on it instead of searching. Just find the one you want us to vote on.
Oh, okay, cool. Wow, this one is pretty popular. What is it? Hard fork. I'll try to look for it. There it is. Yeah, that's the one. So, to cast your vote, you need the governance action ID that's there. So that is the UTXO, and this is the index. So, to do that, since the index is 0, I'll just copy this and just take that off. This voting. What you can do, you could copy this command here and just to query only this governance action, you could paste it. And what it does, yeah, I should have told you that too. Would have been more simple. I'll modify it. That's a query governance state, testnet magic, and then you use your GQ command to filter. That's not right. That's proposals. And the PS governance action state. And what's in the square brackets is your governance action and its index. So I will erase everything but the index because the index is 0. And I will paste my governance action. Ah, shit. Ah, that's bad. I forgot. Oh my god, that's bad. That's really bad. I shouldn't have cleared my terminal. Oh, yeah. Awful me. I'll go get it back. Where is it? Do you want me to share it to you on Discord? So you have it?
I grabbed it from the central testnet, but yes, share this right here, the transaction ID. But I have the rest of the code.
Yeah, I'll just put that there.
Can I take it from SanchoNet exactly as is, or do I need to change anything besides the hash?
What do you mean from SanchoNet? From the channel?
From the website, you know, I grabbed the code sequence there, the little snippet. This one, yep. Do I need to
Oh,
change anything but the but that hash? That's it, right?
that's only to query it. That's not to vote on it.
Oh, that's only to query it.
Yes. So that's what I wanted to show you. If you want to query only this governance action, you can use, as you can see here, this is the same filter. That's what I was struggling to show you, if I can
Okay.
say.
So if I was to take that hash off, it would give me just the proposals then, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You only get the hash off, and where'd I put it?
There it is, but yeah, it's right here.
Right there. It's not there anymore. I'll get it back. There. There it is. Try 69. And I'll paste it here. It only gives me nothing because I forgot to modify it.
Tell me this part. Do we need this? This is modifying because you're doing proposals instead of a government action?
Yes, they were.
Okay.
Now, because before the reset, they had a different kind of JSON file for the governance state. They modified it all for since last week. It's not even the same file. So what you see there on the tutorial of Sancho testnet, it's not right because they haven't modified the tutorial guides yet. And
Conway? Is that what?
what's that?
Never mind. No, is it they haven't modified it for Conway? Or no?
No, it was already for Conway. They modified it to make it more user friendly, I would say.
Okay. Can you
Because
put your adjustments into the chat for us?
yes,
Thank
you
you.
want me to?
Yeah.
Uh,
You can put the whole string if you want. All right, I got it.
okay. Yeah, so that's what it is, and it's only giving me, as you can see, only my proposal.
Mhm.
So update committee, key hash, transaction ID, everything you need is there. So I'll put that here, and now we can vote. So I'll do it with my drep first, if you want to follow along. Here, vote with the drep. I'll just grab it. Simply explain. This is the command, kernel CLI governance vote create. You're creating your vote. What do you vote on it? The answer, yes. Could be yes, no, or abstain, just like in the script. The governance action ID, which is this. So we'll copy and paste it. I paste it here. The governance action index is the same, that's 0. I'll vote with my drep key, verification key. And the out file is way too long. And I'm not going to use this. I'm going to call it action vote because it's prettier. Action vote. So that's it. I press enter. My vote file is made. So now I have to submit it the same way I submit everything else. I make the transaction. Witness override. I'll sign with my payment key and my drep key, drep S key. The vote file, I changed it for action.vote. The rest is okay. Enter. I get the fees. Now I have to sign it with both my DREP keys and payment keys. There you go. And finally, I submit my vote. Right there. That's it. It's submitted. So now, as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 DREPs who voted on it. And if I query it again, okay, so that's the hash I'm looking for.
I just put some code in the chat. Will you take a look? It gave me an error. It's telling me that I need.
It's there. Mine worked, as you can see, it's over there. Voted yes. And that's my key hash. I'll check the chat.
So it said that I need. It said invalid argument query. It said usage Cardano CLI Conway governance, and it has a
Yes.
must need action committee DREP or vote.
You have to erase. You have to erase governance.
Okay.
The query subcommand is.
I see.
Yes.
It's after. Yeah. Okay. I see.
You have to remove governance from it. Like I told you, they haven't. Unfortunately, they haven't modified. If it's not done by tomorrow, I think I'll do that. I'll write down to. I'll send a message to Samuel and then tell him, hey, it's done. Just merge it.
Hold on, I got another error. Let me see. I'm going to put it in again. Tell me what you think. This one.
State. Oh, and you have no dot before proposal. You need a dot.
Okay.
You're missing something else.
Tell me before I press return again. All right. So dot before proposal.
Yeah, and before the dot, you also need this.
Before the dot.
Yes.
Okay. Is it the back tick or is it the
Oh,
parenthesis? Is it the upper left-hand corner? It's the one way up and upper underneath the CD to home button.
The one at the end of your command, the very same one, the very end
Okay.
of your command.
Yeah. Okay,
I'm sorry, I'm French. I don't even know
Yeah.
how it's called.
I got it.
Top comma.
Yeah. Semicolon, something like that. Here, this is. Tell me if this looks right.
Oh no, there's a space. I see. No, there's a space in what you did
Yeah, where?
between the square brackets and gov action state.
There should be no space.
Should be no space.
Ah, yes, there. I have a space.
But you know what? Technically, you only need the governance action
So
ID.
when I do that, I see everything. So I see the whole state now. But somehow on the JQ is not working for me. Okay, so stake pool votes 0. Network testnet action. All right, so let me just build it now anyway.
Okay. Vote. Voting on actions.
Vote. Here we go. Okay.
Whoops. Got low batteries on my headphones. Hello?
I hear you.
Is it okay? Okay. Cool.
So first we do vote with direct key. That's what I have.
Direct key, that's right. You switch the transaction ID with the one from the governance section.
That is the 767, right? Ends in 79.
I know what happened.
Yeah, tell me.
No,
Do I have the-
actually, no. No, no, never mind.
Okay.
You have the right one. I don't know why it doesn't work for you. It's frustrating. Why?
So I gotta find this transaction here. It's deep. This one, veto, vote yes, vote no. Okay, committee votes, D-rep votes. No.
Are you looking for the governance action?
Yeah,
I can give it to you.
can you paste it in for me? Thank you.
Sure.
Awesome. Oh, I had it there. This is the same one. I don't know. That's right. Okay. That's gonna replace this here.
Yep.
Inside quotations. Okay, and then index 0, everything else out file, constitutional vote, right? That should be, does that need to change? No.
You can call it whatever you want.
Theirs has a big hash. I don't need all that, right?
Yeah, I don't know why they did that.
Okay.
Honestly, I I have no
Could I
idea.
could I use your hash, right? I can just gonna put your hash in there instead.
I,
Or should
you could, but
or
I just called it
should
action.vote.
action.vote? Okay, let me do that.
I mean, it's simple.
I like it. I like it. Action.vote. Okay. So only thing I created is I added the hash and I put my V key. And I'm voting yes. And now let's get this sucker on here. Okay.
No error message.
No error message. And do I see it in here? Yes,
Alright.
action vote. I see it. Next step. I have to build a transaction
Yes, you build a transaction where you have to.
with DREP keys. Which
Uh,
one should I?
no, it's not yet. When you build a transaction, you mention the number of keys you're going to use, but you don't sign them yet. So you use
Okay.
your payment address and you add your vote file to it, which
Yes,
is
I see
called
it.
action.vote.
Yes. Sorry, I was just looking at I'm looking at the documentation there. Okay, and I paste it in. Okay, so my payment address.
Mhm.
Check. Keys. Out file. Okay. Return change address. Vote file. This is what changes, right? Yep, that's action.vote.
Vote, they called it vote dash tx dot raw. The out
Oh yeah,
file.
no. Sorry, I'm doing the other one now. I'm doing the
Oh,
action.vote.
action.vote. I called it
Yes.
action.vote, yes.
Yes.
What else? Yeah, I made this script. I'm gonna try it right now.
Okay, and then vote transaction raw. That's fine. We can keep that. That looks like it's ready to go. Okay, got my estimated fees. And now we're going to do sign with DREP keys, correct?
Yep.
So I'm derepping it.
DREP keys and payment is key.
Yes. Oh, let's see, what did I use for that? Okay.
If you're still there, DS9. I don't know if he's still there. I modified my my script just a little bit. So if you want to go take a look at it or try it for voting, it's over here. I'll share it in the chat. You can. Oh, right, that's not the right window. Hold on.
Oh, I got a failed transaction. Why? Just a minute. Oh,
Documentation, SanchoNet script. Do you still hear me?
I do. Do you hear me?
Okay. Yes.
Mine failed. That failed somehow. Let me see. The submission, I don't need to change anything. That should be just straight as is, right?
Yeah.
Why did it fail?
Here, if you want to try this, copy paste that on your terminal. I'll show you what it does. So if I grab my governance section here, I copy it, I'll just put that there, and I'll clear it. This, and I use my drep vote script. It asks what's the governance section ID. I paste it. Then what's the index? 0. What is my vote? I vote yes, and it does it for me. Pum pum. That's it.
All right. So what's the government ID? That's your transaction. I mean, that's yours, right?
The governance section ID, that's the one that I shared
That you
you.
shared. Yep, I got it. I was
Yep.
going to just confirm.
The
I'm
index
trying
is
your
0.
I'm trying your script now because it didn't work the way.
Okay, okay.
All right.
But it's not gonna work if you don't if the name of your keys are not payment.ski if they.
I changed it. I changed it
Oh,
already. Already nanoed
okay.
your script. Yeah. All right. So what is the index? 0.
0.
Okay. What is your vote? Do I type full yes, the whole word?
Yes, in minuscule.
Yep.
Yeah,
Lowercase.
lowercase. Yes.
Creating the vote, building transaction, estimated transaction fee, signing.
10% left battery.
No worries. If you have to drop off, it's totally fine. Don't
No,
worry.
it's just that my other microphone might. It's totally broken. My kids teared it apart. They played some sort of a game with dolls and everything, and they broke my microphone.
Minus R space dot proposals. This is the proposals, plural. PS gov action states. Okay, no space, hash. Okay, I don't know. Let's try this bad boy.
You're able to query it without the JQ command, right?
Yes, yes.
So normally your transaction, it's not linked to the transaction. Your transaction should work still. That's when I find.
So when I do that command, just so you know, in my terminal, maybe my terminal is acting funny. Like nothing, I get nothing. I just get like it's just a blank line. It doesn't even give me my home at user. So that must mean that I got this wrong somehow.
You mean
All right.
your terminal's always like that?
No, something's happening here. I think it's how I'm copying and pasting. That's what I'm guessing now.
Control Shift V.
No, I think it's pulling something in here that shouldn't be here, I think is what I'm getting. Like some hidden character that I got invisible. Because it's creating spaces where it shouldn't be. Sorry, it's confusing.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know. I'll mess with it.
Oh yeah, for the transaction, that's quite possible. Yeah, it's totally possible. I had this problem with a script before. If you have a space after the slash, it's not gonna work. And if you have 2 spaces before the slash, it's not gonna work either. But the script I'm using right now works perfectly.
Yeah. I don't know, got all the way to that one space. It's that's why I don't understand this. I thought your script was gonna do it. Let me try it again just for fun. Okay, do you have vote? The governance ID. Let me grab that.
Yeah.
This time I'm gonna grab it from terminal. from last time I used the terminal. Okay. And
Yes.
okay, what is the index? Is 0. What is your vote? Yes, lowercase. Building, signing, submitting. I got that again. So what causes a transaction to fail? That's the question.
What surprises me is that you're actually able to calculate the fee with no errors,
Mm-hmm.
and then when it's time to submit, it doesn't work.
I'm gonna nano the script because maybe I messed something up in there. Like very
Yeah, maybe by accident.
Yes. And it's in my keys. Yeah, there it is. Drep vote.
If you scroll down to the submission part,
Drep vote. .sh. Okay. All right. So that's good. CLI, Conway governance, vote create. Okay. Action. Good. Okay. We need the verification key file. I got that. Out file is action.vote. That's right. Right. That's what I called it. Just want to confirm. I called it action.vote. ACTION.vote. Okay. Okay. So then I have my query UTXO from my payment address to the testnet. Change address to the same payment address. Vote file is action.vote. Witness override is 2. Out file is vote transaction raw. Should I, okay, signing transaction, echo sleep 1. Sign transaction. Okay, Cardano CLI transaction body. Vote.text raw. Okay, vote transaction raw. Got it. Signing key, drep signing key. Signing key file. This one is payment S key. And then vote transaction signed out. Got it. And then submit. Testnet's magic 4. Transaction file is vote transaction signed. Correct. Vote complete. It looks all right to me. Line by line audit. I cannot find any problem. And I'm doing this from Sancho Keys. That's the right place because the script is in here. So I don't know.
your payments keys are there, your drep keys are there.
Yes. Payment keys, yes. Drep keys, yes. And I'll mess with it some other time. I don't want to keep you up, man. I know just my error.
Error. Transaction error, governance exist.
Can you show me the where I can find that command to query stake?
Yes, this is
Awesome.
Cardano CLI Conway. I'll erase that. Cardano CLI. That's Conway, right? Conway query. And here, this is drep stake distribution. So,
Okay.
wait. Query drep stake distribution. Whoops. Put it down here. I'll just type it down in one line and give it to you.
Yeah, that's fine. No, that's fine. I can get it from there. I got you don't have to give it
Okay.
to me. I see it. Testnet magic. And then
Your
4.
drep
And then my what is it here? That's what do I need next? Is my drep what key?
drep verification key file. If you have it,
Okay.
You can use the hash too.
So it would be minus. Yeah, keep right there, drep. Verification key file.
Hey friends, I'm sorry, we're already past 2 hours and that's pretty much my limit. So the rest of the video was pretty much about troubleshooting. If you wanted me to leave it there, maybe I could next time. Just let me know in the comments. If you have the the courage to listen to the 2 hours straight of videos like that, and you're asking for more, I'll leave it there next time. So just let me know, and I hope you will be willing to watch the next one. It's coming. I'm working on it. So see you next time.